Kenny Chesney is fabulous. He becomes Billboard's #1 country artist of the 21st century, sells more than 35 million albums, and earns a place in the Country Music Hall of Fame. And now, he's taking us along on his journey in the new book, Heart, Life, Music. Please welcome Kenny Chesney. Yeah, good to see you. Now, the first thing we're going to do is got to congratulate you on being inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame last month. That's a hell of an accomplishment.
Well, it was, I didn't see it coming for sure. You know, and when they first told me, like they told me almost 8 months before the induction, and it was really hard in a way for me to accept it because I just never saw myself in that spot.
Right.
And,
why not?
And we're really busy. You know, we're still really busy.
Why did you see yourself in that spot, though? Why not?
Well, I just, you know, when I look at the people that are in it, I just don't see myself as that. But I will tell you.
Look at that picture.
Wow.
When you go to that picture, like when I walked into that rotunda and saw plaques of all of my friends and heroes up there, and when you walk into that room where you're only invited by the Hall of Fame. You can't get an invite any other way. And when you walk into a room that's impossible to go into, yeah, I was really scared right there. I was like, I was not as calm as I look in that picture.
Well, you pulled it off.
But it hit me, you know, that's when I really felt, because I never sit in accomplishment too much. I never let myself do that. But sitting in that group picture, I felt awfully accomplished for the first time, maybe in my life. Really.
Well, Kenny, it might be that never seeing yourself in those rooms came because you come from some humble beginnings, which I think is such a beautiful virtue. You grew up in a small town in East Tennessee, and you got your first guitar at 3. I think we have a picture of that.
I did. Oh my God, there's me and Mom. That's where I stand the exact same way on stage today.
And if you stay long enough at the show, he'll whip that guitar out. But you know, you spent many nights in your grandma's backyard looking at the stars, and you say that this book is for all the stargazers like you. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, I grew up, I lived with my grandmother for me and my mom for a long time. My stepfather was in Vietnam. And so I just lived with her. And when you're that far out of Knoxville, there's no light pollution from any big city. And that was the only big city that was close to us. So when it was clear, you could just see forever. And that's the moment it was there that this whole dream thing started. I didn't know it was going to be this. I wasn't dreaming to be in that group picture at all, but I was just curious if those roads that I took to school or church or mainly to the ballpark went any further. And if anybody cracks open this book, and especially if they're a kid and they've got a dream in their head, whether it's music, sports, corporate America, or to be on The View, whatever it is.
That was always my dream.
Is that right? Well, I just feel like that, you know, we wrote a book where it's a touch of a roadmap to what I did, and it's where everything is not so viral. You know, you do it slowly but surely and
deliberately
and on purpose, and that's what this book is about. It's about the dream of it all, really.
Well, this book is terrific. I loved it. You sent it to me at my house.
I did.
Thank you, Kenny. What most people would never think is that kid from East Tennessee and this kid from the South Bronx Projects are very good friends.
I know, it's crazy.
We met a couple years ago at a party, and we have been buddies since.
Yeah, at the risk of sounding like some of the elitists that I hate, we met at a party in the Hamptons. You know, so it's like...
No, Sonny talked about it here on the show.
We did, and we became the fastest of friends because this guy is the most kind and generous and sweet-hearted person that I have met in a long time. So if it's not clear from your 2 decades selling out stadiums, everybody loves you, me too. But especially the community of fans you've built, they're called the No Shoes Nation.
Yeah.
And I hear the first song you ever wrote was for a girl you were trying to win the heart of.
Here we go, yeah.
I mean,
I was in
you
a,
must have
ironically
charmed her.
enough, in college, I was in a persuasion class.
Oh.
And there was this girl, she sat right where Joey is. I sat there about half the semester, and it was a Tuesday, Thursday class.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think of a way, I told all the jokes I knew. And I was trying to be as charming as I possibly could in college, and so nothing was working. And so I'm gonna write this girl a song.
Oh.
And I recorded it, took it to her on a Thursday, which was a mistake.
This is like back when there's tapes and
Yes,
things,
I had to do a
right?
tape.
Right.
But I gave it to her on a Thursday, which was a mistake, because I had to wait Friday, Saturday,
yes.
Sunday, Monday, and finally it was Tuesday. And I went, okay, today's the day.
Yeah.
And I walked into the class, and she was sitting as far away from me as she possibly could. Into the furthest back corner, Whoopi, which taught me, first of
Her
all...
mistake.
Well, first of all, my first thought was my songs have got to get a lot better. But it was truly my first taste of rejection in the music business. It really was.
Wow.
That's, or else maybe start on Monday to give it to
But
us.
maybe,
She didn't have that much time to hate it.
that's a true story, though. I was like, oh, well, I got to get a little bit better.
So Kenny, as a touring artist, you have played for over 1 million fans each summer. So 1 million a summer since 2002, meaning that that's more than 20 million people have come to your concerts.
Pretty good.
And it's such a pity that you draw such small crowds. But on the night you became a headlining act, you wrote what you call a contract with your soul.
Yeah.
So what did that mean, and what did you promise your
Well,
soul?
that was my first headlining show. It was at an amphitheater called Coral Sky Amphitheater in West Palm Beach, Florida. And I'd spent 12 years getting to that spot. I mean, it was not easy. I had a bus, I had 12 bunks in the bus, but there were 14 of us on the bus for a long time.
Yep.
So there was a real
Who
struggle.
had to share the bunk? Just go.
We
Tell us.
all shared. I mean, we really did. But there was a real struggle that got us and got me to that point in West Palm Beach. And that was my first, all of a sudden, it wasn't me opening for anyone. It was me on the ticket. And I was just praying that we didn't fail to a point where it was really noticeable. Yeah. But it was a really great night. And I remember going back on my bus, and I say this in the book, where I sat there and had a heart-to-heart with myself. And almost willed this to happen in a way. And I wrote a contract with my soul, saying that I was going to give everything that I possibly could to it. And if it didn't happen, it wasn't going to be because I was lazy.
Right.
That's right.
Right? And so that's what that was all about.
And you're going to be at
You're going
the
to be in
Sphere.
Las Vegas. He's going to be in Las Vegas for a second residency.
Yeah, we played this summer, and then we're going to go back in June next summer. So we'll have to do the view from out there.
Yes, yes.
Sphere.
Keep trying to do it because, Vegas is my love. As are you. Our thanks to Kenny Chesney. The book, Heart, Life, Music, is available right now. Scan the QR code on our screen to order a copy. And members of our audience,